The Brian Griese thing is so weird. If we were like detectives and we think something strange is afoot, I would look at the Griese move first. You're telling me Brian Griese, the quarterback coach who pretty much discovered Brock Purdy and developed him, is just going to walk away from Brock after 3 years so someone else can coach him? Why? That's his guy. He freaking discovered Brock Purdy and hand developed him, and now he's over it. Why? I don't know. That's just super weird to me. He just want to spend more time with his family. Okay, or maybe he got wind of it's not such a slam dunk that Brock's going to be here long term, and maybe the owners aren't as sold as they used to be. Maybe the coach isn't as sold as they used to be. And maybe Brian felt like, if the quarterback isn't going to be Brock, then the quarterback coach isn't going to be me because I'm loyal to that guy. I don't know. These are where places my mind goes. So they hired Mick Lombardi. Why? I like Mick. He's my age. We played Little League together. He hasn't been a quarterback coach yet. He's been an OC. He was in New England when Mac Jones was their quarterback. He was their wide receiver coach. He knows Mac. And remember, when the Niners traded up for that pick, all the insiders said it was going to be Mac Jones. And if you can remember what the world was like 4 years ago, a lot of people flipped out about that. Started talking about racism and how the Niners, this was George Floyd era. There was a huge blowback on the Mac Jones to the Niners thing. I wonder if the owner said, hey man, it's not gonna be Mac. We don't want this. Pick anyone but Mac. It's not gonna be Mac. I wonder if Kyle secretly always wanted Mac, and now that Mac's gonna be a free agent and no one wants Mac, if Kyle's gonna sign him, and that could be the competition for Brock. What do you think?
There's so many possibilities for the reason he walked away. It's hard to predict. I mean, there's always 49ers may not be giving Brock Purdy the contract that is going to require to make him happy and be here this coming season under a new contract. Maybe that's the possibility. Maybe you're right. Maybe they're bringing in competition for him. Maybe Brian Griese just tried coaching for 3 years and is tired of it. So it's really hard to make a determination of why that's happening. But it is very interesting. It's one of the most interesting stories of why Brian Griese decided to walk away. Or do we know that he decided to walk away? Was there friction between him and Kyle? And Kyle decided he didn't want Brian Griese here anymore. I mean, there's so many different possibilities.
Here's something we know for sure, though. Griese was one of, if not the biggest advocate of Purdy's in the organization. You can't tell me that Kyle was a bigger advocate or is a bigger advocate of Brock than Griese was. I mean, Griese was the one who wanted Brock to get drafted in the first place. He's the one that put him and Slowick, that put Griese on Kyle's freaking radar. Kyle was going to start Trey Lance. So to me, we know that one of Purdy's biggest advocates is gone. And we assume he's about to get a lucrative contract extension, but he hasn't gotten it yet. And in the meantime, they've promoted Mick Lombardi to quarterback coach. Maybe Mick and Purdy have a phenomenal relationship. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe that's why. Or maybe there's another connection here with Mick that I don't understand. Because it seems to me that Clay Kubiak, well, he's the offensive coordinator now. I don't know.
Just throwing out possibilities too. Like, is it possible Brian Griese thought Brock Purdy would be a great backup quarterback and not necessarily the guy? Is that also a possibility?
That is possible for sure. That's true. I guess we won't know, but I'm curious to see what the Niners do at quarterback. They're going to make an offer to Brock eventually, but before that, will they bring in someone else? That'll be interesting. And with Mac Jones, like, is he as good as Brock? No, of course not. Brock is way more mobile. Brock is a good leader. Brock's mature. Brock's all those things that Mac isn't. But in terms of like throwing a football, I mean, is Brock definitely better at throwing a football than Mac? I don't know about that. And plus, Mac hasn't messed up his elbow.
Yeah, I think you're right. Everything he talks about in regards to Mac Jones being inferior to Brock, the leadership, that's all accurate. But a better passer, I would say Mac Jones is the better passer.
I would think so. A little bit taller, better stature in the pocket, quicker release, better deep ball, more accurate. Stronger arm. I'd still rather have Brock, but if Brock wants $60 million a year and Mac Jones wants $2 million, then I mean, I don't know. I might just keep both of them and not pay Brock. You know what I'm saying? Like I'll have both.
We still don't know the answer about Brock's injury, his shoulder, his elbow. That's another question mark that looms this offseason. Maybe the 49ers do, but we don't. We don't know what happened. I mean, his deep ball tough for quite a bit this year. And, all of us assume there's some kind of injury there. So maybe that's what it was. Maybe the Niners know what's going on. Maybe he's 100% healthy, but there's a lot of questions that are looming. Let me ask you this, Grant. When is the next time you is it the owners meeting? The next time you get to talk to these guys, interview these guys?
Yeah.
So the Brian Griese is going to be a big one. Brock's contract and his health is going to be another one. So there's going to be some big questions that hopefully we get answered then.
Yeah. And the thing with his elbow, he's injured his throwing arm multiple times. They always downplay it. But I wonder, maybe they just feel it's private. Whatever process he has to go through to get ready to play is private to him. And if he wants to talk about it, he can talk about it, but not. I mean, I don't know. Like, they must know exactly what a day-to-day life with Brock Purdy, that elbow, looks like. Is it completely something that's not on his mind, or is it something that he manages? Is it something that he yeah, I don't know. They would know. And I wonder if they're going to hold that against him in his contract negotiation.